Chet, can you use your horn? Can you single out somebody in that caravan and use your horn?
Oh, just try it. It's a gift.
It'll destroy it?
No, make it disintegrate in my hand. I'll look at the caravan, and I pick one of the beasts of burden, and I... No. I'll pick a humanoid entity at the back and try and, like...
Okay. You put all of your breath into this horn, and it's just... And you begin to realize, maybe you got swindled for some cash.
Son of a bitch.
Did it work?
Hold on, I gotta make a new list.
Yeah! What do I want to do?
I'm gonna go over to FCG.
Okay.
She's the kid who goes, without having anything to say. Hey, I got a joke.
I take his wheel.
You're in sleep mode?
Eyes are totally clouded over.
Green screen.
Fleshy tongue hanging loose.
No.
That's not it.
Not canon.
There's a little cursive.
I am going to look around the frame of FCG and try to look for any buttons.
Buttons?
Like the foot?
Like pushable buttons or like clothing buttons?
Just like no, like a pushable button, like a switch.
I don't know.
Make an investigation check. Investigation or perception, really, your choice.
Okay.
Oh,
Help
shit.
you want to.
Well, that's not very good. 14.
14. You give a pretty thorough view based on what's visible and how FCG is resting. You don't really see any buttons. You do see some shapes and patterns that look like they're somewhat circular in places.
Look for the dirt button.
Okay. I'm gonna lean in and give him. Just start sniffing him.
Okay. No, you have a fairly decent sense of smell, and there is kind of an iron-like, kind of like wet metal smell, if you know what I mean, as well as, I'd say, a scent of old wine and ale that's probably been settling within the internal cavity when you briefly used it as a canteen.
Ooh. Stinky in there. I'm going to take my hand with the claws, and I'm going to just drag it across the blades of grass on the front of his chest. Huh. All right, I'm gonna go to bed.
Okay.
Does that wake you up? Is that why you did?
Yeah, so you go to take your watch, because the first thing you see when you wake up is Fern's claws just scraping across the front of your chest.
Why'd you do that?
I was just tracing the blades of grass
Oh.
on your
Weren't you
chest.
supposed to be like watching?
I absolutely was. I was. Just checking it all, making it all, just checking it. And I check on you guys when you're sleeping to make sure everybody is,
Thought you'd come over and just rub me a little.
Well, let's not make it weird, but
Okay.
just making sure.
Well.
I think we should clean you out a little bit because you're starting to smell a little rusty on the interior of your body.
Okay.
I don't need to do it. Someone else, we can go to a spa or something.
Sure. Maybe just like flush me out with some water or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
I see Lada doing this, and I say, I see you're focused. It seems like it's missing something, doesn't it?
Oh.
I was working last night. I have something for you. So I started on your request for, a girlfriend for Pate, but then you picked up that piece of shit. So I just figured, I don't know how domesticated they want to be, but I figured if they wanted to explore more of like an official thing, this is from that tree in Eaton Square, and I just figured they could,
You see her lip quiver.
I just wanted a more rustic approach, not as refined.
It's beautiful.
They'll carve their own story.
It reminds me of the shacks that Pate and I stayed in when we traveled across Taldore, and now they have a shack of their own. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. Oh, you're very tall. This is very awkward.
They deserve happiness.
They do.
You know?
And that way they can do things that you seem to want them to do behind closed doors instead of out in the open. Like
They need their privacy. It's
yeah.
important to a healthy relationship.
walls, they also get creative.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But lug it around forever. You can just throw it in the hole or whatever. It's your call.
I'm just gonna go over and shove it in their faces. Look what he made you. Look what you have. Stop looking at me!
That sounds like someone in distress.
Just an open, but we can't see this. We hear this like from around a corner.
You hear this like off to the right hand side as you're walking, and no one else around is giving a shit. They just keep doing their thing.
Can we see what it is? Who it is?
You glance down. You're passing by some of the ramshackle buildings, and there is a couple of like larger protrusions of stone and rock, and there's an alleyway that leads behind where you can see like tents and some left scrap and garbage, and you see somebody standing there. Who's kind of in shadow. You can't really make out their details, and you see other figures just kind of beginning to encircle around them. They have weapons out. You see one kind of standing up on the stone area, who's just kind of like hands out in front, rubbing them, and you see other figures, weapons drawn, encircling them.
That's some shitty bullshit.
And so at that point, you hear a voice call for help.
Very.
In which it was a very quiet call for help.
Quiet voice.
But if I could have, there it is.
Over there.
Somebody help me!
And if
What a smoky voice.
indeed, as the voice shouts, Erica, if you wouldn't mind joining us at the table.
Hello.
Sorry, let me move my dollhouse.
It's beautiful.
Isn't it? They're gonna be so happy.
Cool. Let's see how that turns out.
More?
So,
Did you move? No, you're good.
as you all glance down and see this scuffle happening, seeing this scuffle happening, the figure that appears to be encircled by this troop of aggressive figures, if you would describe who they see in the middle of them defending themselves.
You see a very slight, wayfish-looking elf. Clearly, you can tell by the pointy ears. They have close-cropped black hair, tousled a bit. They have armor, the color of the autumn, that's clearly in disarray. And they have a rapier by their side that they're clutching guardedly. The rapier has shards, what look to be crystals, and interwoven metal barbs on the hilt. They have a tattoo climbing up their arm of the ocean waves, but rendered out in polygonal fractals. And she looks very, very afraid. Please, I don't, this is all I have.
Good, and it's all we're gonna have. Chop it, you live. No, we cut you and leave you.
No! And I lunge forward a little bit with the rapier, and you can tell that there's a bit of knowledge there. Like, clearly there's fencing skills, but it's rusty.
You especially pick up on this, Orem. What are the rest of you doing?
How close are we?
You're probably about 70 or so feet. You're like just at the edge of the road, and the alleyway kind of leads in from there.
That's a little rough. I say we're in, and I'm running straight into it.
Okay.
The people they're dealing with, go ahead.
No.
The people that they are dealing with, there are no tattoos on the elbows. This is
Make a perception check.
Oh, good call.
not great. 14.
14. Not that you can see at this distance, but it's also, they're kind of in the shadow of the alley anyway. You probably have to get a bit closer.
Okay.
However, as you're looking in, you see Ashen charges in, and as you go rushing in, they kind of look over their shoulder and notice the approaching troop that is you, which means whether or not you're ready, the rest of you are being pulled into this, and we'll jump into combat here right after a break.
All right, I'm gonna step forward so I get closer.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds good. Like about even with Laudna. Maybe a little bit further away from Laudna, closer to the building. Yeah.
There you go.
And I am gonna use my sorceress capabilities. And I'm gonna twin spell.
Okay.
I'm gonna twin spell my mind whip, and I'm gonna lash my arm out, and I'm gonna try to hit both the baddie in between Ashton and FCG, and yeah, the knoll.
Alrighty, go ahead and, is it a save on their part?
Yes, it is. It's an intelligence save of 15.
Intelligence save, good to know. That is, wow, they're rolling really good. This is a natural 19
Cool.
on that one there. The knoll, that's gonna be a 14.
Okay, great. So the knoll is hit with 3d6 of psychic damage.
Alrighty.
Okay, ooh, that's great. 14 points
Nice.
of psychic damage.
Very nice. And it's half damage to the other?
And moreover, on its next turn, it must choose whether it gets a move, an action, or a bonus action. It only gets one of the three.
You got it, okay.
On a successful save, the target takes half as much damage, so it would have taken 7 points.
7 points.
The other guy.
7 damage to the other figure, got it.
And I haven't been doing this, but I need to roll every time I use my sorceress.
Oh, for
My
like
sorcery
wild
points
shit?
for my wild shit.
Oh, yeah, you haven't done that.
Time for some wild shit.
So
Make her do 15 rolls in a row.
So it's a percentile thing. It's 100.
Wait, do you roll to see if it
roll a
happens
D100.
first or it just happens?
Oh yeah. What do I do?
Roll a d100.
Just a D100.
This item means that you can, well, it's up to you if you want to invoke it.
Okay, yeah. It's
Like, it doesn't happen
happened.
automatically, but if you want to invoke it, you can.
It's happened.
Yeah.
Yes, let's do it.
Roll a d100.
55.
Oh, that's the worst one.
Stay alive.
Okay.
You're blue again.
54, out the door.
Oh no.
Oh, no, that's smart.
If it's a
Oh,
spell, if it casts a spell, there's something that happens with it.
All right, so you watch as Imogen reaches into her head and unleashes this torrent of power. You watch as the sparks leave the hand, and there's a slight blur in the air, almost like an invisible force is careening through both of the figures. One of them kind of grabs their head and tries to pull himself out of the way, taking some of the impact. The other, the knoll, is racked with pain, and you all kind of glance back and smile and see Laudna grinning as all the... Sorry, Imogen. I know. fucking
You're
Laura.
also grinning.
It's Laura. Your name.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
You all look
Yeah,
back
we're
and watch
grinning.
as you're smiling, and the pink hair just falls out.
It's purple. It's purple.
No, it's
Leaving.
not. It's gone.
It is, you are a cue ball.
Oh no! I forwarded myself.
Lovers betwixt the campaign. Oh man.
Logna! I mean, Imogen!
God damn it.
Oh my god.
I'm a.
Teddy turns and sees this and just takes his hat and throws it to her.
It's kind of a cool look.
I just go, it's alright, it happens to me all the time, see? And yank out a chunk of my hair.
Don't spell. As I pull Chetney's cap down on my head.
Okay.
Alright. I'm gonna walk up to him. I'm just gonna say, like, I'm sorry, it's been a shit day, and shocking grasp him,
Okay.
which has advantage if he's wearing metal armor.
Fair enough.
Whoa!
Yep.
Yeah, it's a natural 19.
Yeah, that'll hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
2d8. Uh-huh. Yeah, that is 13 damage.
How do you want to do this?
Ooh.
Poor guy.
Go sleep. Go sleep.
Falls and then collapses onto the ground in the middle of this alleyway. The tension of this troop that had fallen upon this wayward wanderer that you'd come to their aid are now dead or unconscious on the ground, and you take a moment to kind of like catch your breath, look up at you, and and look around at the handful of other people in the space that are all kind of looking in, that just kind of like, and go about the rest of their business.
Do you ever have a dream so real that sometimes when you wake up you don't know whether or not you're still dreaming?
Yeah. Literally the opposite.
Oh, God. Well, that's kind of what my life is like. I exist in this sort of twilighty area. I was touched by the feywild. I was there. It's real. And it was the most beautiful thing I have ever seen in my life. The last thing that I remember was this glen. It's just existing in a perfect, eternal stillness. Just like the moment where the sun is just kissing the edge of the horizon and the golden, this surreal golden light was filtering through the trees, and it was so profound. And so that's kind of where I kind of am.
Where you got your name?
Yeah.